Virtual new surveillance bill that's been proposed in the UK Parliament. It would grant government agencies more access to data. RT's Polly Boiko is in London. She's listening in. Very good pun on the word there, listening in, isn't it? Very apt. Tell us about this very controversial bill.
Well, at the moment, Theresa May says with the law currently as it is, it allows the police to catch criminals who plan and discuss their crimes over the telephone, but it doesn't allow the police to view their online communications, so things like WhatsApp messages and Facebook Messenger communications. And she says that that is wrong, that the law needs to be brought into line with the digital age. So when she unveiled this new law in Parliament a little bit earlier on, she mentioned that 3 different independent reports had all said that this is a law that needs to be brought into the 21st century. Now, probably the most important aspect of the proposed law is that it would grant authorities access to everything your phone or computer does. Now, Theresa May called this data internet connection records, and authorities would be able to see which social media apps or communication websites you had visited and when, but not the specific content that you had viewed or who you had been messaging and what. So, for example, they'd know that you'd logged on to Facebook at a certain time, but not who you had been speaking to and what you had said. Let's take a listen to Theresa May's explanation of how it would work.
Internet connection record is a record of the communication service that a person has used, not a record of every web page they have accessed. So if someone has visited a social media website, an internet connection record will only show that they accessed that site, not the particular pages they looked at or who they communicated with or what they said. It is simply the modern equivalent of an itemised phone bill.
Now, that information, if this bill becomes law, would be stored for a year. So communications providers here would be legally obliged to store that data for a year. It's not clear how exactly that storage would work, and there are already concerns about potential data breaches and the threat of that data being hacked. But British communication companies will legally be obliged to hack devices if the police ask them to do so. And the way that would work is that when authorities would ask to intercept someone's communications, their plans would have to be signed off by the Home Secretary, as they do now, but also, crucially, they'd also have to be approved by one of a number of specially appointed judges who would form a so-called investigatory powers tribunal. So there would be judicial oversight of anything the government and the authorities would want to snoop on. Now, the Home Secretary was keen to stress that this new proposed law is a significant departure. It's very different to the original so-called Snoopers Charter, the very controversial bill that the Liberal Democrats blocked back in 2013. And indeed, they have removed some controversial elements from it because they are so keen to see it approved. It could be presented to Parliament by spring, and Theresa May says she wants it to be law by December 2016.
Could be a game changer, couldn't it? All right, Polly, thanks for the update. We'll, of course, follow that closely with your help and the rest of the team there in London. Good day to you.